What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and for this video we're going to be talking about the Chargers season, their outlook, what they did during this offseason, what they did during the draft, and much more on this video. So the Chargers had a bit of an underwhelming season. They went 5-12, and that's despite Keenan Allen having a career year. He's no longer on the team anymore. That's a big loss for them. And Mike Williams, he unfortunately had a season-ending injury. He's no longer on the team either. They had to get rid of their two best wide receivers, and that left them with a gaping hole at wide receiver, which people thought, myself included, they were going to address it in the draft with their first pick because they had pick 5. They ultimately decided to go with Joe Alt, the offensive lineman, instead of a wide receiver, which that was a little questionable, but not the worst pick, but definitely something I didn't expect. They did take, in the second round, with their second pick, they traded up to the second pick in the second draft, ironically, and they took this guy by the name of Ladd McConkey. I think that's how you say his name. I have no idea if this guy would be good or not because I don't really follow draft prospects too closely, but I mean, at least it's something. And I think they had a couple of guys took in the 7th round too, or it might have been the 5th round. I can't remember. But I mean, you can't hate on an offensive lineman pick because you know they were doing it to protect Justin Herbert. And that's one of the most important things this team needs to worry about. They need to do everything they can to assure that this isn't an Andrew Luck situation or an RG3 situation where they're good, but they're not healthy enough to sustain their level of, career, and they eventually retire or, lose it. And that's what they're trying to prevent. So I can't say I hate not taking wide receiver with their first pick too much, but I think if there's one draft where I feel like you should have taken a wide receiver over an offensive lineman, this might have been the draft because there were a lot of prospects that were available that would have been phenomenal for this team. But at the same time, I mean, a lot of people would think differently. It just depends who you ask on who they think would be the better pick. And I mean, Joe Alt is probably the safest pick they could have taken. So definitely not an awful pick, not a reach or anything. Actually good value. He was probably the best offensive lineman in the draft. And they got him with the 5th pick. He was the first offensive lineman taken off the board, I believe. And I mean, not a bad pick. But let's talk about what went wrong last season for them. They had a head coach named Brandon Staley who was, let's just say, he was pretty bad. And he got fired at near the end of the season. And Justin Herbert, unfortunately, had a season-ending injury in the middle of the season as well. A lot of things just were not going right. And because of Brandon Staley's lack of coaching ability, the defense was horrible, which is kind of pathetic considering who they have on their defense. They have Derwin James in the secondary. He's one of the best safeties in the league. And they have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the front 7. And it's like, it's not a talent problem, it's a coach problem. I mean, at least I don't think it's a talent problem. I mean, if you have guys like that, your defense shouldn't be an issue. But, I mean, they hired Jim Harbaugh in the offseason, and that was probably the best coaching hire that we've had this offseason for any team. So I will credit them for that, because I know finding coaches like that aren't easy. And since, he was contemplating not coming back to the NFL, for those of you who didn't know, he used to coach for the 49ers. He actually coached him to a Super Bowl, ironically, against his brother, John Harbaugh, who's the coach of the Ravens. But I digress. The point is, he knows what he's doing, or at least he knew what he was doing. I don't know how he would have lost a step or anything like that. I think good coach. I think he's going to do wonders for this team, especially the defense. The offense is already good. But, I mean, they could definitely still use some help. Since they did lose Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, Their offensive production might not be the same. They also lost Austin Eckler, too. I forgot to mention that. But he was kind of bad, so they had to get rid of him. So they've got, they signed J.K. Dobbins to be their running back. So I don't want to say it's taken care of because he's not like a great running back, but he's definitely not the worst. And I mean, if Joe Alt is really good at his offensive line thing, I mean, that could also play into improving the run game as well. So that's a reason why the Joe Alt pick wasn't a bad pick, because maybe they want to go in another direction where they want to run the ball more opposed to passing it. Because if you can run the ball, you can control the game a little better, in the trenches, and I'm assuming that's what they want to do if they took Joe Alt over a wide receiver. And I mean, they could still sign a receiver. I mean, Tyler Boyd, I'm pretty sure he visited with the team. There's a chance he will sign with them. And, I mean, I think they'll definitely be improved. They have a better head coach. They have a slightly worse roster. But at the same time, coaching is everything in the NFL. If your team could have like Patrick Mahomes, Derrick Henry, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, you could have all those guys. But if your coach isn't good, you're still going to be shit. It really makes such a difference. And Brandon Staley, he was just like one of those guys where he started off okay. I mean, he was over aggressive. And people were saying, like, if he worked on that, he would be a good head coach. But he didn't, and he flamed out. And he just never worked out for them. And, yeah, I mean, Chargers fans were sick of him on the team. I'm sure a lot of people were as well, considering the talent that Justin Herbert has. And it would be a shame if all his talent went to waste to coach for some clown like him. Yeah, let's see. He also gave up 63 points in an NFL game, too, last season to the Raiders, of all teams, who scored 0 points just 4 days earlier. So that was the game he got fired. I remember that. I saw it. I was like, what the hell? 63 points in a game? And it's just like, yeah, you're going to get fired if that happens, along with you not being a good coach beforehand. And yeah, that was a whole mess. And they actually, I don't think they won a game after that, but they definitely looked better under their interim head coach. And that's really saying a lot, because interim head coaches, that's like the literal definition of just throwing a guy out in the mess and hoping he fixes it. I mean, I don't think they expected him to win like that much, but yeah, it just goes to show how much of a mess Brandon Staley created and how much they just were overwhelmed with all the injuries and the dysfunction on the team. And it'll be better for him this year, I believe. I mean, as long as their quarterback doesn't have a season-ending injury and their, one of their best offensive weapons doesn't go out with a season-ending injury, I think they'll be fine. And, I mean, I don't see them being horrible next year. They could realistically, I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders, but they could definitely make the playoffs. I mean, the AFC is very tough, but they have the talent to make it there. And maybe their wide receiver I just mentioned in the second round will step up, because they do need that. Because currently their best option is Joshua Palmer is their number one. And I think it's Quentin Johnston after that. And, those guys aren't going to move the needle that much. I mean, Josh Palmer's a good number two, but you don't want him as your number one wide receiver. So they're definitely hoping that this guy in the second round can fill the void. And they might sign Tyler Boyd. Maybe he can be their number one. You never really know with this free agency stuff or this trade or whatever they do with it. And I mean, yeah, that's a lot of what this team is. Can they put the pieces together and build themselves back up to a Super Bowl contender? Because, I mean, some people would argue they already are, just considering what's on the roster with Justin Herbert and the talent on defense and the head coach. So, I mean, you really just have to wait and see, because you don't know. They could make a playoff run this year. Will they? That's obviously a different question. But, I mean, it wouldn't be too much out of the question if they made the playoffs, surprise some people, and maybe just maybe they'll make it to the Super Bowl and win it all. They've never done it before, and the Chargers have a habit of having lots of talent on the roster, and they always find ways to fuck it up, and that's a big test here. Can they build the team, which it's already built, but they still could work on it a little bit? Can they build the team morale up, and can they get to the Super Bowl without messing up in the playoffs or in the regular season, or chargering, as a lot of NFL fans will say? I mean, that's the big question here. Can they do it? They have a proven head coach. They haven't had a guy that's like genuinely a proven head coach, and I don't even know. It's been so long. I don't know who their last coach was after Anthony Lynn. He was hired in like 2018. He got fired. Then they brought in Brandon Staley. Then he got fired. And now they have Jim Harbaugh. And I mean, I don't know who the coach was before Anthony Lynn. I'm assuming he wasn't a good head coach if, he didn't break the whole charging label. And just wait and see just how it goes with the NFL. I say that for like every team, but it's so true, because you can make all the predictions you want and what you think they're going to do, but the reality is, I mean, you don't know. No one knows. You just have to wait until the season starts. So that's what's so hard about this. It's just like you have literally not a clue how it's actually going on. This is just kind of my idea of what I think is going on, because no one truly knows except the Chargers themselves. And, just see if Jim Harbaugh can build this team back to a contender. And, I mean, I think they can. I think he can. I mean, Justin Herbert, I don't think it's any question if he's good enough. I most definitely think he's good enough. He's a top 10 quarterback, and, I mean, he can get it done. It's just, can the rest of the team get it done? That's where I have my main questions. Because you have a lot of teams where they're a quarterback away from competing, and I feel like the Chargers are a head coach away. They've been a head coach away from competing for a while, because the talent is insane, and the head coach has always been awful. Jim Harbaugh's proven, though. But the question is, how proven is he? That's a big question if you really think about it, because there's always guys who were proven and then retired and then came back, and they weren't really the same. Because you've got guys like John Gruden. He did that with the Raiders. And then you've got Sean Payton. I still have my doubts about him. He was a proven head coach in New Orleans, but he came back to Denver, and people thought he was going to fix Russell Wilson, which he kind of did, but he still had his moments where you just question what the hell he was doing. And, I mean, I hope for Chargers fans' sake that's not what happens here. And, I mean, I'm assuming most of you know I'm a Broncos fan, and I obviously hate the Chiefs and the Raiders, but the Chargers, I don't really hate them. They're just one of those teams where I feel like they've endured so much suffering where if they start winning, I'm not going to be mad or anything, just because, like, they just never have had anything. Like, I feel kind of bad that they've never been a good team. I always have that weird thought, like, if a team hasn't ever won a Super Bowl or something, I kind of just feel for them, and I want them to win. And that's why I don't hate the Chargers as much as I hate the Raiders or Chiefs. And yeah, that's just how I feel about the team. I don't know if every NFL fan is like that, or if that's just a me thing. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not a real Broncos fan for not hating the Chargers. There's a lot of things that other NFL fans could say about that. But I obviously am not getting into that because there's a million things that they could be saying right now that I could care less about, honestly. But yeah, that's about what I wanted to say about this team. It's just similar to the last team I covered, the Cardinals. Can they not mess up their Can they not mess up their window of contention that like they had and then mess it up? And that's similar to what the Chargers have, except the Cardinals. And that's similar to what, both teams have. But at the same time, I think the Chargers are in a better situation because with the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, you could make the argument he's not the guy. Justin Herbert's the guy. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. He is most definitely the guy, and he has proven it time and time again that he is most definitely the quarterback of the LA Chargers. He's the quarterback now. He's the quarterback of the future. And he's hoping that the Chargers will figure their shit out and get him a Lombardi trophy in his hands. And, yeah, that's just how it is. And another thing, I think Jim Harbaugh, I'm going to mix him up so much. Jim Harbaugh is so much more proven than Jonathan Gannon, too. So that's another thing they have in their favor. And, it's just, you don't know, but I have a good feeling about this team. Good in the sense that they'll be good. And we'll just wait and see. And I'll wrap up the talking about their season part, because I've said just about everything. So we'll talk about Madden right now, the Madden games I played with them. I won our first game. It wasn't a pretty win, but a win's a win. And right now we're up against the Dallas Cowboys. We're currently winning by 4. And the Cowboys have the ball. And they're driving down the field. First down and 10, Dak Prescott's going to run, trying to juke people out, but he doesn't do a great job of that. But he does a good enough job to get the first down. It's first down and 15 because they had a penalty. And they throw to Jake Ferguson, but it's knocked away by Derwin James. Second down and 15. Dak gets taken down as an unblocked guy is able to get to him. It's third down and 23. Not a great situation for the Cowboys. Pass is caught by Michael Gallup, and he's going to make a reception down to first and goal at the 1. So pretty bad defense there. First and goal, they're going to hand off to Tony Pollard, and he does not get a touchdown. He just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Second down and goal, they'll hand off to their fullback, and he gets in for a touchdown. And that will put the Cowboys up by 3. And now the Chargers have the ball again. We'll see if they can get a quick score before halftime, because we're approaching halftime soon. And it's first down and 10. At the 48, and they're a little far from it, and now they don't have a chance with it because they just threw a pick to Jaron Kearse, and now the Cowboys now have an opportunity to kick a field goal if they can, make the kick. And it's first and 10, 1 second left. They're like right in field goal range. If they want to kick it, they will. And the kick is up, and it is no good. So it looks like either he messed up his kicking meter or the kicker just didn't have enough leg to make it in. So this will be a 3-point game still. We do start off with the ball. First down and 10. Pass is caught by Keenan Allen. It'll be first and 10 at the 36-yard line. Justin Herbert back to pass, going to throw, and it's picked off by Deron Bland. As Justin Herbert, he has thrown a lot of interceptions in this game. And even in the first game, he was kind of erratic with the football as well. So, I don't know. That's just me, though. I can't blame that on him. I'm just not good with the Chargers, I suppose. Second and 12, Cowboys have the ball. Pass is caught by Pollard. It's a screen pass. He gets a first down and then some, as the Chargers didn't care to cover him there. First down and 10 at the 19. Pollard's going to run it up the middle for 2 yards. It's second down and 8 at the 18. Dak is back to pass. Dak is going to throw, but it's an overthrow. CeeDee Lamb was open, but he couldn't get the ball because it was an overthrow. Third and 8. This time it is caught by Jake Ferguson as that wasn't great play design by the Chargers. Looks like Joey Bosa was in coverage, and usually when you have a front seven member that's not a middle linebacker in coverage, that's usually going to happen. First down and 10 at the 43. Justin Herbert's going to throw, and it's picked off again by Stephon Gilmore. As that one, I kind of have a problem with Justin Herbert on that one, because I was trying to throw it a little higher, and he threw it like right to the guy. So I don't know. Maybe I just suck at this game. First and 10, Pollard is going to get a touchdown, and the Chargers, that was a big problem last year. Their run defense was a big issue, and that's a actual good representation of what that was like. So I guess credit to Madden for being accurate for once. It is first down and 10. We're down by 17. We'll see if Justin Herbert and the Chargers can claw their way back. Herbert's going to roll out to the left, and he goes over the line, so this will be a flag. This won't count. He finds Joshua Palmer, and yeah, that's not going to count. It'll be second down and 13. Herbert back to pass. He's going to throw, and this is picked off. Oh my gosh, dude. And that was a really bad throw because the guy was literally open. I was throwing to Keenan Allen. He was literally open. And instead, he throws it right to the defender again. Like, Justin Herbert, I'm going to have to, like, bench you or something if you keep playing like this. Second down and 12. Dak Prescott back to pass. He's going to throw. And this is nearly picked off by Derwin James, as that would have been huge if he did pick it off, but it'll be third down and 12 as that one hits the ground. And this time he does pick it off, so he makes up for his blunder last play by this play picking the ball off. First down and 10, Herbert back to pass. We'll see if he can find his receivers instead of the defenders. This time it's caught by his tight end, Donald Parham Jr. It'll be first and 10 again. Herbert play action. He is going to throw. Pass is caught by Palmer again. Palmer is able to get down to the 8-yard line. And we'll see if we can not throw an interception, because this has been a huge trend in this game. Every time we have an opportunity to steal some momentum back, we kind of just mess it up and throw a pick or turn the ball over in some form. So now it's second and goal at the 3-yard line. Herbert back to pass. He's going to roll out to the left, and he is going to throw across his body, but he could not find Keenan Allen. That would have been a hard throw. So, well, good on him for not throwing a pick. I shouldn't have to compliment him on that, but he has been pretty bad about that. Who hasn't been bad? Austin Eckler, because we haven't given him much opportunity to be bad, but he's pretty good there. He gets us a touchdown, and now we're only down by 10. But the Cowboys still have the ball. We did attempt an onside kick, but that didn't work out, as most onside kicks usually don't. As they're just going to run the ball, try and get out of here, and we'll do our best to stop it, which is definitely a concern because of how bad this run defense is. Pass is caught by CeeDee Lamb, as our pass defense can't do too much against that. CeeDee Lamb was one-on-one with his X Factor, and usually that doesn't play very well for the defender. Second down and 7, Pollard runs it up the middle. Chargers are calling timeouts, because if we can force a third down, maybe we'll still have a chance, as this is awful. That was a 3rd and 3. Tony Pollard had a wide open lane for the touchdown because the guy I was using just fell down or something. As now it's first down and 10. We're down by 17. Justin Herbert's going to throw. Pass is caught by Joshua Palmer, who's wide open, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. We'll need damn near a miracle to win this game, but, you know, play till the game is over. That's what I do. As this pass is picked off by Malik Hooker, and the game might just be over by now, as we just throw another interception. And Justin Herbert, he did not come prepared to play today. The amount of interceptions he has thrown, he just really needs to shake this one off next time I decide to play with the Chargers. As Asante Samuel Jr. with an impressive pick there, as that was a bad throw by Dak to potentially not ice the game. You never know in these Madden games. First down and 10. This pass is nearly picked off as well, as we're looking for our tight end, but a little bit of an overthrow. Second down and 10. Herbert's rolling out to the left, and he is going to throw, but he gets hit, and it is just going to fall to the ground. It'll be third down and 10. Herbert back to pass. and he has all kinds of time. Herbert's going to throw. Pass is incomplete again. Man, he is still not being careful with the football. There's been so many dropped interceptions on this drive. 4th down and 10. Herbert, all kinds of time again, and he finds Keenan Allen, who comes back to the ball to keep the drive alive. 1st down and goal at the 7. Herbert is back. We obviously have to pass here. Herbert is going to run up the middle, and he fumbles, but we do keep possession. That was very, very sketchy, like Justin Herbert has been throughout most of this game. Austin Eckler, the man who jumped on that fumble, gets the well-deserved touchdown and the 2-point conversion, as this is a 9-point game. We're going to attempt the onside kick, as, man, this is an awful onside kick, and we don't even recover it. Tony Pollard actually recovers it, and he might get a touchdown on the onside kick recovery. Man, oh man, this game is not going in our favor. As, let's see, they're up by 15. They're going to go for 2, and Dak doesn't get it, so I don't know. That was bad. That's about how the Chargers season last season went, so I guess Madden is doing their representation of what their season prior was. 1st down and 10, Justin throwing to Quentin Johnston, but he didn't stand a chance on that one. 2nd down and 10, Herbert back to pass, all kinds of time again, rolling out to the left, and he's just going to run out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down and 4 at the 11, and Justin Herbert trying to pad his stats here. 3rd and 4, he's rolling out to the right, and he's going to go. He fumbles, but it does fall out of bounds. Good hit by Micah Parsons, but I guess it didn't really matter. 1st and goal, it's a touchdown, but, I mean, it doesn't really matter. That was a garbage time touchdown to make the game look closer than it truly was, as the final score is 41-33. And, yeah, I'll just pretend like we played a close game, I suppose, because of the score. But no, Justin Herbert, you were awful. You were horrible. I don't even know what to say about you. You're supposed to be in my top 10 of QBs, and you play like that? Maybe not anymore. Maybe you aren't in my top 10 after this game. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got. We'll go through the rest of these stats real quick just to see how everyone did. The interceptions were mostly from the Cowboys. Derwin James was pretty good on our side. So was Asante Samuel. They both snagged interceptions. Kicking was all right. And I'm going to sign off for now. My next video will be with the Kansas City Chiefs. And you know how much I hate the Chiefs, so that's going to be fun. But if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and upload this so you can watch it. And I will see you next time.